of the Braxtons. She's a talk show host, a phenomenal vocalist and actress. Now, she appeared as a contestant on the second series, Celebrity Big Brother, where she went on to win the competition and become the first African American person to win a season of Big Brother in the United States. She most recently launched an amazing, successful podcast titled Under Construction. Please welcome Tamar Braxton. I'm just going to go ahead and say how happy I am to be talking to you. I know, I reached out to you about 2 years ago, a year ago, via our mutual friend, DeAndre.
Yeah.
And what I got out of that is sometimes when you're going through something, you might not even be able to respond. It's not that you don't want to respond. Sometimes you just don't have the strength to respond.
Yeah, that's something that, I told you before, that's something that I struggle with. And a lot of people don't believe me because, usually I'm so out loud with my life, right? So, like, I struggle with, like, embracing and letting people help me. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And when I'm going through something, I don't know why I'm just so private. And then that turned into me being a little bit of a hermit, which I don't know exactly where that started from. But
Really?
when I have allowed people to help me, they have been so helpful, because I can't help my way out of it. You know what I'm saying? Some of the situations that I've been in, like I was talking to God early this morning. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so grateful. I have absolutely no idea how I got here. I know I
Ooh.
prayed to be here. I just don't know how. You ever been in a situation where you in,
Yes.
but you know you're going to get out, but you can't see your way out? You know what I mean? Those people are placed in our lives to help guide us to get through. And I just think that's another form of the trick of the enemy to keep you bound, to keep you,
Come on, Evange.
yeah, on edge, and not reach out to people to help you, because those people have been through things too. So thank you, Michelle, and I thank you for being patient with me, because I remember telling you back then, I'm like, oh girl, I have a hard time.
Yes, like I said, and it just takes a person to understand what you're going through, and we are here right now. I see you happy and glowing. The work is working.
Yes, it is.
We are supposed to be talking about dating, but I was just like, we've had some similar mental health journeys. And so my book is about depression and how getting real about depression saved my life. You absolutely said, bump it. I have to get real about what I've been going through. I can't try to hide it anymore. What gave you the courage to do that?
I'm telling you, Michelle, I didn't have courage at the time. It was either, okay, fix yourself, or, I don't know what have happened to me. You know what I mean? Because I was just so depressed. I was so lost. I didn't even recognize myself. And I know people say you have a choice to do the work, but sometimes, no, you don't have a choice to do the work. Sometimes it's you do the work, or, I don't even know, because I hate to say, like, God is finished with you. No, I don't think that. But at a certain point, it's like, I think he stops tugging at you. You know what I mean? Oh, so you're not going to do the work. You're not gonna want to get better. You're not going to get better. Okay, well then you can't do my will. So then that's that on that.
Yeah, and you feel like he stops blessing what we put our own hands to. Like, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so at this point you just coasting and like, what's the name of this life? None.
My goodness. I told y'all Tamar was finna come in hot. I knew it. I already knew it. Man, thank you so much, because I know people, they're like, I've seen even people in my comments, when is Michelle and Tamar, when are y'all gonna talk? And we are excited and having this conversation. And like I said, once again, we're supposed to be talking about embracing singleness
And
as
we'll get
you
there. Let's just get
and we will get there. With what you have come through, has it impacted the way you look at dating?
Yeah, because remember, I can't say names because I get sued every 5 minutes. But like, about my situation is that, you know, everything was affected. My career, my dating life, my motherhood, my sisterhood, because it was all encompassing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I couldn't deal with one without dealing with the other, because of how, my situation, turned out, so with dating, I kind of had to sit down for a second and give that a breather and really truly honestly, do the work on myself, or I was going to keep meeting these trauma buddies. And
Woo!
what that was doing was, setting me up for more trauma. I'm adding
Yep.
more to my list, and it just became too expensive for me. So I just,
Mm.
had to get comfortable with being by myself and get to know myself all over again, which was the best thing that I've ever done.
It's so
And
much peace. It's so much peace in it.
I mean, listen, I'm just gonna keep it a thou. It gets lonely.
It does. I'm not gonna lie. You right. You talking right. It does get lonely, and I can't go in the HOV lane. I can't go in the HOV lane because it's just me.
Yeah, and speaking about being in the HOV, like, being comfortable with, the journey that I'm on. Like, if my highway is the 405, be comfortable on the 405. Stay in your lane.
Stay on the
Stay in your lane,
405.
Becky. Because you're gonna get to your destiny on your highway. How about that? You're not going
Yes.
to get to it on these other roads. All these other paths lead you to the 405 anyway. So you got to start over.
You
So
got.
you
Ooh.
might as well stay in your lane.
She told us, come on. Now I keep hearing you say, I had to do the work. I had to do the work. I had to do the work. What is doing the work?
It's an amazing question, because a lot of people say, I want to do the work. I want to do the work, but I don't know how, right? For me, mine started in therapy.
Ooh.
And in therapy, I found out a lot of things about myself. I had to have really, really hard conversations with myself, with my therapist, and then with my friends, with my family, with business people. Yeah, that's where it started with me. I had to be open enough to accept the things about myself that were not working.
Were you ever in denial about certain things that they were saying? I know I had been, and then it's like, no, sugar lump, it's true. They went to school, they know what they're talking about.
You have to get to a point where you realize your way ain't the way, and it's not panning out. If nothing is working, it's you, pumpkin. You know, if every situation has you, the common denominator, it is you. At first I was the pop off queen. You know what I mean? Somebody do something to me, I feel like I got the right to go all the way in.
Yeah, yeah,
No.
yeah.
First, you work on ways to dealing with things, especially with dealing with things that trigger you. You know what I mean? It's not
Mm.
their fault that they say things or do things. Like, a part of my issue was abandonment. That's something I'm still working through. At a certain point, when my parents got divorced, I felt abandoned by my dad. And so when people up and leave me, I feel like I have a right, to go off. Not that they don't have a right to change their mind, because they
Mhm.
do.
Mhm. Mhm.
No matter how deep you into it, people have a right to change their mind for their own happiness. And
Yeah.
so, who am I to tell them you are wrong for changing your mind, or, choosing a different path for yourself? No, I was condemning everybody. Oh, you're wrong, slash, you're wrong, slash, all over the place.
Even though we have a trigger, we are responsible for our responses, right?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
at first, I didn't hold myself responsible for the responses. I held the people accountable for doing what they did to make me respond the way that I did, which is
Mhm.
giving them control. See what I'm saying? I didn't have control over myself. And that's another thing that I have learned doing, the work that I've been doing is I always have to maintain self control no matter what somebody else is doing. I was taking on their trauma, my trauma, and mixing it in a bowl and making a trauma cake.
We're talking about boundaries, and when it comes to dating, well, let's just talk about boundaries as it relates to just your normal day-to-day relationships. Have you had to find yourself setting boundaries?
My name is Tamar Boundary Braxton.
Hey.
And yes, every day people have a problem with my boundaries. But like I said the other day, boundaries, my boundaries are just that, they're mine.
That's
And
it.
I'm just so sorry that you have a problem with it. But I feel like I've lived my whole life not having boundaries, and I have been doing more harm than good to myself because I'm so
Okay.
interested in making other people happy. Or this is the one that did it for me. I didn't want people to walk away with a bad experience for me because it was going to, further the story of Tamar being difficult, Tamar being, Tamar.
Now we know your last relationship was very public. Do you think public dating takes a toll on your relationship? And will you keep your next relationship private?
Well, I'm almost trying to give somebody a different name. I'm scared. You have to understand this, and this is an issue that I have. I'm not the one who made it public. That wasn't
Okay.
me. So
Okay.
it's like now I'm being forced to being silenced about an experience that I didn't set myself
That you
up
really, yeah,
to tell the world.
yeah.
What I have learned in therapy is that I give people the right to silence me, and I'm just not going to allow that. I'm not going to allow that because someone else is uncomfortable with the truth and uncomfortable,
Yeah.
with really what it is. That's again not my problem.
So with therapy, do you think it has helped you know who I want to be in a relationship, but also not also with knowing who I want to be, helping and choosing a mate? Is therapy helping you in that area, or even are you even thinking about a relationship right now? Uh
Not
oh.
really.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's okay. There can be peace in that, having this time alone.
Yeah,
Tamar.
I don't want to be alone, right? But I don't feel like shenanigans. And I feel like if I am in a relationship right now, I'm settling because, yeah, my
Ooh.
house is not completed yet. Like it's not ready to be moved in. And I don't want to be in a house without cable or a couch.
Come on.
I don't. I want to be in a furnished, beautiful house with a roof. I have to wait. But I do entertain.
Nothing wrong if you want to take me to the restaurant of my choice, or we'll watch the sunset, and that's the only thing we're gonna watch set.
Michelle, listen, that's why nobody feel like it with me because even that is a lot of work. I want
Really?
to go back to pen pals and being on the phone.
You said you want to go back to being pen pals?
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to text and be on the phone. I really don't feel like going out with you.
Okay. Do you feel like because you want to build a foundation first?
I
Maybe
want
let's
to
get to
build a
know each other.
foundation. I just feel like once I go outside with somebody else, then it's pretty official for me. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah.
So if somebody just casually is like, "Hey, I'm in the neighborhood, this cafe," no, okay.
No, I can't. I don't want no coffee, baby. I'm sorry. I recently put myself on a fast. This was
Tell us
like two
about
or three
it.
months ago. Yeah, I went on a dating fast where I'm not even going out for coffee.
Okay.
And yeah, and since I've done that, I don't have a desire. Like we're gonna eat and then what?
And then what? Okay.
Because
I
I'm
get
not having
it.
sex, that's off the table.
Oh,
Completely off
okay.
the table. And it's so funny because I never thought I'd be one of those girls, but I turned into one of those girls. It really has opened my eyes to so many things about what I want, what I don't want, what I'm settling for, what I'm not going to settle for, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. Because I think that clouds the situation.
So have there been people that were interested in you and you were like, "Yeah, we're not doing that," and they were like, "Peace."
Yeah, I've been called Tamar Selfish Braxton. Okay, I'll take
Okay.
that. Um,
Okay.
you want things your way? Okay, I'll take that because that's where I am in my life. Uh,
Okay.
you're not allowing us to go to the next level. Well, who says sex is the next level? So that's not really a whole bunch of interest in dating Tamar right now because she's not going for a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like I want to get to know you, like really get to know you. And I feel like I have like skipped past that because I've been such a love magnet. That
Okay.
I'm ready for the love part. I'm ready for the
Yeah.
bliss part. That I really didn't give myself time to really get to know a person and to see if we are really, truly, honestly compatible.
I was just about to ask about compatibility and how important that is. And was that a factor in the past where you didn't even look at compatibility? It was just, he likes me, let's go.
Yeah. Well, the last person I just wanted so different than my ex-husband. So what and their difference, it was like, oh, this is attractive.
Okay.
Without, really digging deep and looking at the fact that this person probably can't handle somebody in the entertainment business because it's so different than the corporate world, right?
Okay.
If I would have assessed that situation early on, I probably wouldn't have gotten so deep in it.
Were you ever taking blame for the breakdown of two relationships with your ex-husband and your ex? Were y'all engaged? I can't recall. I'm sorry. I went in your business like that. Did you ever find yourself taking the blame?
Yeah, I took all the blame.
Why do we do that? I'm guilty. I'm guilty too of taking the blame.
You took the blame for your
Yes,
ex?
ma'am. Yeah, I took the blame.
Well, because you didn't really speak about it, so I didn't want to be disrespectful and ask you questions about that when you.
No, no, please, no, come on. No, I definitely I took the blame, and I do speak about it, in my book where I took the blame because I felt like everything was wrong with me. Yep. And I put him on this pedestal because he was a pastor. Everybody revered him in the world that he was in. And then here comes me. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, he'd been praying for a wife. And then here come a depressed one. So I was like, oh my gosh. Then I felt I ruined his life or his career and this and that. I had dug this pit of lies for myself and just slept in it.
Well, I didn't really dig the pit for myself. It was dug for me because I got accused of all of those things.
Jesus!
Yeah, you ruined my career. You ruined my life. It was different before it was you. Or while I was in the relationship, why couldn't you just be a lawyer or a doctor or a regular person?
How come I can't be who God made me?
You don't want me? You don't want to be Tamar Braxton? You sure? Yeah. So I accepted what people said about me instead of accepting really what it is.
What it really is, the truth.
The truth about
the truth.
Me. And I had a hard time swallowing that it wasn't all me. And so, that's why I'm so reluctant to speak about it, because this last time when I felt like I was taking, my power back and being honest about really what happened, I got hit with a cease and desist. So it's almost like still out of that relationship, it's still trauma happening. You know what I mean? And so I just think it's best to leave that situation to heal themselves. And I'm going to heal out loud over here and help the people in the back that want to be healed. Because I'm not on that train. I'm on a different train. I'm on the train to healing. And let's get better. Let's elevate. And let's heal out loud together. All that other stuff, sweeping stuff under the rug, is what I've been through. And that's what put me in the situation that I was in, that I almost didn't make it out of. That part. And so now that I'm on the other side, I have to speak about my victory. I have to speak about the things that I have overcame. I have to speak about the things that I'm not ashamed of anymore, because you're not going to put that muzzle on me because you're not comfortable with who you are, because you refuse to do the work that is in front of you.
Come on. Now, would you say that the next person, you have to say, have you gone to therapy?
Oh, yeah. That's one of the questions after, hi, how are you? Have you gone to therapy? My name is Tamar. What's your sign? When you go to church? Who your mom and them? All of that.
And nothing is wrong with saying, hey, I just want to know, have you been able to process, some of your unmet needs? Or what are you like when you're angry? That's so good to know. Well, I am just so thankful for you coming on the show and just knowing we have so much in common. For a long time, for 20 years straight, I was always in and out relationships. 4 years here, 3 years here, another 4 years here, another 2 years here. And it literally added up to nearly 20 years. And so I then, was like, well, maybe I don't need to date. And I'm in that season right now. Now, I haven't been like you where I'm like, well, I'm not going to never go out. I have gone out, and there's been some interesting specimens that my eyes have laid themselves upon. God is amazing. He's just all right with me. But knowing that the peace that I have, not to feel like I have to be forced, not that any relationship I was ever forced in, but I don't feel the obligation, because for a long time I was like, well, I've got so many close to me married with children, and am I the embarrassment in the family for not having children yet? But I have so much peace, and while I am waiting, I'm working, doing the work.
Well, let me ask you a question. After you and the pastor broke up, how long did you wait to date?
Well, I haven't even really officially dated since then.
Really? How long? How many years that's been, Linda?
That was at the end of 2018.
Really?
Yeah. Now, during like 2019, I'm not gonna say we weren't. I'm just gonna probably reveal this, and I'm not gonna say we weren't teeter-tottering, figuring out, trying to make it work. I know he went on a, and I don't want to speak for him, but he went on a sabbatical. And we was like, well, maybe it can work. I don't know. And I think what happens when you end a relationship that was so strong like that, you're almost not so easy to throw it away. Yeah. And to give it up. So we were not normal for trying it again.
Of course.
You know what I mean? But since then, for sure, I have not been in another relationship or anything like that. I wanted to make sure that I healed, because there was a lot of trauma, not from the relationship, but some trauma that I had suppressed for a long time. And within my trauma, and I did a lot of trauma in the relationship. You know what I mean? I'm okay. I talk about it. Words that came out my mouth. I hurt him. But I do have peace in my state of like being alone. This is the first time in my adulthood that I have been alone. And what does that say? I want a companionship. I didn't want to go through life and success and all this alone. So I was choosing out of a deficit instead of being like, can I be okay with or without a relationship?
Yeah, and that's where I am now, and that's why I went on this fast, and that's why I'm just like not open to it, because I too was a serial dater. Like, this is like my last relationship was only my second adulthood relationship that I've had.
Mm.
And so, I don't ate up my 20s, ate up my 30s in a relationship, and some of my 40s. And now I have to give myself time to really figure out where did I go wrong? And why do I feel like I need to cleave to somebody and something
Yes.
and
Yeah.
have something? Why? What's the answer to that? And I feel like until I find that answer is when I'll find the person, God has put on this earth to be with me.
I mean, I found out mine was because of some emotional needs that went unmet that I wanted somebody else to meet for me.
Yeah.
And that's it. You want the affirmation, you want security, you want attention, you want affection, you want this, you want that. And it's like, speaking with Devon Franklin as well, as we both have spoken with him, it's like, can you meet some of those needs within yourself? Because I think it's unfair to expect one person to meet every single need.
Every single thing, Linda. Why do we do that?
They'll be so exhausted after the first week.
Yeah.
I could continue to talk and talk and talk to you for such a long time. I know that you've got your podcast and other amazing things that you are doing and you're building. We are excited of what's to come for you. Was there a moment where you thought too, though, with everything that you've gone through, that it's like, yeah, I can't even work anymore? Not that I can't work anymore. I gotta find a whole nother path because I don't belong in this field anymore.
Yeah, I knew that reality TV was literally killing me. And I couldn't use my gift. And, not being able to use your gift will almost destroy you. It really totally will. And now that I'm not doing that anymore, I found a lot of healing in my podcast, Under Construction, because I talk to people, every day about, their struggles and mental health and normalizing mental health and making sure that, I set a platform for people to heal out loud because I didn't have that. And I didn't know where to go. And I didn't know who to talk to. And I didn't feel normal. And I felt judged. And I still kind of feel judged sometimes.
I'm
But
sorry.
now that I know that it's so many more people that has experienced the things that I have experienced, it really does give me comfort and hope that, I can keep making these milestones out loud and help people along the way.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I'm really grateful to God that I am not where I was a few months ago, and that is not my destiny into where I'm
It's
going.
so good. Well, listen, we are ready whenever you're ready to grace us on every type of screen: television, film, books, accessories, makeup, hair, whatever it is. Tamar, you've got a tribe of people that are ready, but
Thank
we'll
you.
be here when you're ready.
Thank you, my friend. I really
All
appreciate
right. Thank you for checking in. All right, listen, the title of this segment of the tour is Embracing Singleness. And Tamar really got down to the nitty-gritty and really is telling us she really is embracing singleness. Now, that's something that's can be so hard to do, especially when you're so used to being in relationship after relationship. Not only that, Tamar was married for a number of years as well before she got into her relationship that also ended in a breakup that was totally public, and my heart totally went out to her because the world was privy to both of those breakups. So it is wise of her, it's wise of me, it's wise of so many people to be like, you know what, maybe I need to take a break. Maybe I need to assess. Maybe not take full blame, because remember there are two people in a relationship, and so it's not to take full blame, but let me assess my role in the breakdown of a relationship, and let me do the work needed to do to make the next relationship a successful relationship. And whatever that success looks like, let it be as successful. Maybe it's a relationship is just being successful in friendship, and that's okay. Well, maybe that next relationship is being successful not only from friendship, but friendship can lead to marriage. So what is success in a relationship for you? That's going to be my takeaway, and that's something that I'm going to continue pondering. It's something that I will continue talking to my therapist about. I'm so glad that Tamar was so open about therapy, where she was and where she has been, and I know she is going to help a lot of people. She helped me and brought some light to my day today, and I know she did the same thing for you.